We're big believers in video, and we do a ton of it, and we do it for the qualitative research industry. It's really grown, it's taking off. Clients are just gobbling it up, the larger clients, but you know, I'm sure it's going to work its way down even to smaller clients. I probably don't even have to tell you the benefits of video deliverables, but you know, the whole catchphrase, bring your research to life, there's no better way than through video. You can try to do that through visuals and text and color and whatnot in PowerPoint, but the video, hearing straight from the consumer, giving the consumer a voice. The old knock on qualitative, oh sure, you know, just because you're telling me 2 people in San Antonio said it, I'm really going to make $1 million marketing decision on this. No, but you know, now I'm seeing you know, 6 different women from 3 different markets all saying the same sort of thing. I'm starting to believe it more now if I'm upper management or whoever needs to make decisions. It's just more powerful, and they can present themselves with which a lot of clients like. Press play, watch the video, if it's that kind of deliverable, and versatile. Easier to share out. You're dealing with one little file. You can embed in PowerPoint. You can take little pieces, build your own if you have a library, which we'll talk about, and I'm sure there's many other benefits. This is our process, or at least the shell of our process. It doesn't always happen like this, but the general idea is just 4 things. You go out and do your research. You've had a debrief. You've come up with findings and topics. You have topics and you have footage. Those 2 things come together, and out spits a video library of clips. And we'll talk all about that. From that, you can stop. Hey, we got a video library, we're all set. Or continue on to video montages or video montage. And from a video montage, we've got 3 tiers, a basic, an essential, and an enhanced. A lot of our clients will skip the video library and say, here's the topics and the footage, and I'll make me a montage. And that's fine. We can do that too. We love video libraries. From the video library, we can also create what we call video reports. So I'm throwing out a lot of terms here, but it's meant to be very descriptive of what they are. Video library, video montage, and a video report. We'll talk about those. First, a video library. So what is a video library? A video library is really a comprehensive set of clips from your research. So let's say you go out and do 20 hours worth of research in 3 different markets. We get the 20 hours back, and your topics or findings, unlimited, however many number that you like, could be themes, could be actual findings, could be a topic with subtopics, and we go back and pour through those 20 hours of footage. And while we're pouring through it, we're listening and capturing any and all pertinent clips that relate to any of those topics. We've taken your topics and created labeled topic folders. Now we're going through, rendering out each of these clips, sticking them in the appropriate folder because things don't always happen in sequence perfectly. So we're going along through the 20 hours. Now after 20 hours, you might have 200 clips across your 17 topic folders. For each hour of footage, we typically get between 5 to 10 clips. That's just a very general average. It's rarely ever 5, and it's almost always at least 10, and oftentimes more than 10 per hour. Clips tend to average around 30 seconds. Sometimes they're 10 seconds, up to 2 minutes, but average around a 30-second clip. This is consecutive now. One big thing about the word clip, when we say clip, we mean an individual consecutive, one consumer is making this comment about about concept A. Or it could be a little bit of dialogue between back and forth across the table or something. But a clip is a continuous amount of time, whereas a video or a video montage might be, you know, seamlessly stringing together multiple clips. So just know that when I say the word clip, I'm talking about an individual clip. We edit these things to exact stop times, and what that means is, you know, we're not letting the previous person's, the last few words of that person's comment start the clip and ending with the moderator saying, yeah, but how do you, and then that's annoying. So we try to cut these things just right. They can be played right from their topic folders, just double click them, play through like Windows Media Player, or they can be embedded into presentations. It's great for those wanting to keep an archive of clips on file, and they can be used for multiple initiatives even later on. So now you've got this library. Pull them out because they're already labeled. Create little mini movies yourself, or start embedding clips so you can repurpose these libraries. We deliver them in WMV on purpose. There's lots of video formats, but WMV is super friendly for users like us, and in PowerPoint, and Movie Maker, which some clients use, and it will play in Windows Media Player, and you can even embed them in Word as well. We usually deliver these in terms using FTP or on flash drives via FedEx. The default is FTP. Really easy. We give a link and a password and you download them. All of our video deliverables are designed to completely minimize the involvement of the QRC, the moderator, or anyone else from the client team. All we need is the footage, a list of topics, and maybe anything else specific that we need to know. If you're shopping different aisles or if you have code letters that we might hear that we need to do. And that's it. We don't need all of your notes and all of your huge reports and specific requested clips. That's one thing for a lot of our new clients is to say, you don't have to tell us what to listen, or tell us exactly what to listen for. We're going to listen to everything anyway. So don't worry about scribbling down notes furiously. And once clients start getting on board with it, they love it because now that I can actually enjoy the research. I'm not so worried about scribbling down notes knowing that someone else is going to be pouring through all the footage anyway, finding all these clips. Let's show a quick example of that. Now we're in Windows Explorer here, and we've got this thing called Demo Video Library 2012, and you can see in here we've got all these different folders, and in there we might have some subfolders, and inside every one of these folders are a series of clips that relate to these topics. So for instance, under economy impact of shopping, you might have a clip in here.
Well, I definitely cannot shop like I used to at all.
Tell me about that.
I buy all Kroger brand stuff now. It's cheaper. Or, whatever's cheaper for me. Now, certain things I won't.
That's just an example. I just cut it off early. But inside there, so now, so a client or a client team, or even if it's you wanting to use the library to put together your own report with video in it, you can go through and select which ones you'd like to use. Play it just like I played it there, or stick it into PowerPoint. So that's the video library. Going back to the process, remember we're talking, okay, now you can either go from the video library to the montage or skip right over there. We originally designed it to say, hey, if you'd like, we'll give you the library and you tell us which clips to put in what order. We don't really get that ever, even though that's still on the table. But it's usually more often, hey, here's the topics and the footage, you figure all that stuff out. And I say, okay, that's fine. Fair enough. So what is a montage? We call it sort of a research movie. We're not creating Hollywood here. We're still dealing with authentic, raw, sometimes ugly research footage from a camera in the corner of the facility that hasn't been cleaned or angled properly, or it's still blurry. So sometimes we're dealing with some ugly footage. But from all of that footage, let's say we got that 20-hour example, we cull it down to a 10 or 15-minute video, a single video. And those tiers represent the bells and whistles associated with those videos. You can quickly summarize your research findings. So you've just spent 2.5 weeks running around the country doing this. You've got all this footage. I mean, who's going to sit and watch 20 hours of focus groups or read your 30-page report? Now you get everyone in a room or you send out this video, everyone's on the same page in 10 minutes. So it has all of your research findings interwoven with text and video, and it's super powerful. It's great for those with more polished needs. You just click play and run. Some clients really like that. There's no preparation needed. Typically they run 10 minutes long. We've done them as short as 45 seconds and as long as an hour. So they can be anywhere in between. But 10 to 15 minutes is a typical video montage, and we send these via FTP as well. Or flash drive if needed. So here's the different tiers. The basic is just that. It's basic. It's typically one topic. Shoppers love this. Here's a minute or two of proof of that. And the minute or two is a number of consumers saying it. The essential kicks it up a notch, and now we have some backgrounds and some logos and some music. But the biggest thing is that we're hitting on multiple topics with subtopics. That's why these things can blow out to be 10, 15 minutes long. The basics are more of the, your 2 to 4 minute variety, maybe even 1 minute. But the essential is the full research all in one video. And the enhanced is very custom, and if you need something super, super duper polished and with all the bells and whistles, or if you needed to see that in table format, this is something that we share out as well. Basically shows the basic getting those 2, the essential getting those 4, and then the enhanced all these other elements as well, such as voiceover and special effects and movement. So let's look at some examples. I'm going to cut these off pretty quickly, but I also have these just linked right to these, but just know that the deliverable would just be a video only, nothing to do with PowerPoint.
I think it's a really good idea. I think what's really going to hook people is the fact that you can get through checkout faster, because a lot of people, it's all about speed.
I like that. I like that a lot. I only got a certain amount of money to spend. Ability to quickly review the contents of the approved payment.
I like a lot about it, I really do. I would use it. I would give it a shot, put it that way.
I would want my primary store to offer this cart.
I think there's a lot of people that are going to like the fact that they can download recipes or check ingredients. I like the making recommendations of items your family might like to try. Just because we like to try new things and we don't always know what's there, so if somebody can recommend something, then that's great.
I would use it.
I would say I would be more loyal simply because it would just make it a lot easier to get in and out of the store.
I like the speed aspect. If it's going to get me in and out faster, then I like it. I would honestly go to check it out just because it's something new.
How many of you would be interested in shopping at a store using this shopping cart 3000?
So that's just a quick example of a very basic video montage where, you know, if you needed proof to management that this shopping cart 3000 is the way to go and just something quick hitting, you only have so much time, it's a great way. This example is based off of one day of research. Imagine if those clips were from different markets and different people, so you really felt a little more strength behind it. So that's a basic. Here's an essential from using the same stock footage, or not stock footage, the same research footage we shot, mock footage is what I meant to say, that has more things going on with it. Stufftown's made up. So we start off with a little background, a little music, some logo.
I keep a little Post-it thing here. This is
Lower
my little
third
work
text.
center, my mail center. And then when I'm in the kitchen and then I realize I have something in the pantry, something pops in my head, or I go in the refrigerator and I just come over here and write it down.
Typically, I like to make a list, pretty much list, coupons go. This would be for sugars, flours, baking needs, spices, stuff like that. This would be for all canned goods, fruits, vegetables, soups.
Dry goods and cereal and stuff's up here. Goodies, treats are up here, and then these are mostly canned goods. And then I do have my little lazy seasonal spices here.
Then we're going to introduce another topic. So it just kind of flows like that.
I think it's a really good idea. I think what's really going to hook people is the fact that you can get through checkout faster, because a lot of people, it's all about speed.
Maps out the items on the shopping list, keeps tracks of items placed in the cart, and the ability to...
So I'm going to kill that example, but you get the point there. It's a little nicer, has some, and we're touching on multiple topics, and we sort of guide the viewer with some text below. Those were very rushed, you know, just for the example, but you can envision what, you know, if you had some actual findings that you were showcasing down low. There's millions of text ways we can introduce text as well. But I want to get into this enhanced, which you know, throws everything with the kitchen sink. Same mock footage. So now we've got a really spruced up intro.
Stufftown recently conducted consumer research
Voiceover.
to understand how to better delight their shoppers and
B-roll
persuade
stuff
non-shoppers
happening.
of their store to give them a try. To this end, the research team conducted focus groups and one-on-ones, created mock store shelves, and was invited into shoppers' homes for a tour, including a quick pantry check. Prior to the research, participants were also asked to create a collage of their
Bringing in
ideal
imagery,
shopping
collages.
experience.
Some different effects and movement.
The following is what we learned.
I keep a little Post-it thing here. This is my little work center, my mail center. And then when I'm in the kitchen and then I realize I have something in the pantry, something pops in my head, or I go in the refrigerator and I just come over here and write it down. And the list, I just grow the list over a 2 or 3 day period.
Typically, I like to make a list and then go through.
Bring in
the
some
coupons,
imagery
see
that
coupons
associates
I
with what
can
they're talking
utilize,
about.
Try to budget what I'm going to buy, so pretty much list, coupons go. This would be for sugars, flours, baking needs.
But I'll get you off that one. So, you know, one little step up from on top of that. One of our favorite clients over at Market Vision allowed us to show one of the videos we actually have created for them, and mostly because it's already in the public domain on their main page of their website. But I wanted to show you this because this has a lot of elements in it.
Hello, my name is Brad Weiss, Research Director at Market Vision Research. This past month, we took to the streets again at our exclusive research center in Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida, where we focused on Gen Y, or said another way, millennials. We skewed a bit on the younger side, looking for those born early 80s to mid-90s. And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce a research colleague, Corey Boyce, who worked closely with me on this project.
As Brad mentioned, our topic was Gen Y, which is especially relevant to me as I happen to be a member of this generation. For this episode, we focused on understanding how members of my generation refer to ourselves, which is surprisingly different than the typical Gen Y you are used to hearing. We also focused on their outlook on life, what excites them about the future, and then we switched it up and asked them about what products or brands they couldn't live without, recent advertising that caught their attention, and brands they feel like don't understand our generation. Listen in to what we learned along the way. Gen Y refers to themselves as the technology generation.
Like our generation is very technologically based.
Tech savvy.
Really technologically advanced.
The entertainment generation.
We're very mobile devices and electronic savvy, real quick, and we pick up stuff very quickly.
Regarding Gen Y's outlook on life, we heard that they are not thinking long term, and they tend to be more carefree and merely concerned with trying to have a good time.
It's pretty carefree.
More of right now kind of vision of life and not looking towards the future, I don't think quite as much.
We like being connected with one another. We like seeing our friends, talking with them. We don't like to be too wired down to one place.
I think we're more laid back than other generations, just easy, I don't know, easygoing, easy to deal with.
Am I being entertained? How am I feeling right now?
Just very unique and doing what they want and not caring what people think.
Man, I'm just trying to have a good time. We'll get the work done, but I think that's kind of what we like to concentrate on, having fun, having a good time.
Honestly, we don't care about things. We just do what we want to do, and we live our life to the fullest. We live for today, and I have a tattoo that says that, live for today.
What excites this generation about the future is
just knowing that I can do anything that I want with my life.
It's just so open-ended.
There's so many different things that are happening, so many new technologies that...
So that was an example that kind of showed off a whole bunch of stuff there. You saw a lot of movement, you saw some music, and it was kind of fun and fast-paced and quick hitting. That's one thing we try to make our videos, quick hitting and snappy and keep you engaged and entertained. So that's examples of the ways we can enhance video. So those were just little bells and whistles along the way, but really the core of these videos is all about the consumer. Really quickly, about the video reports, remember this, from the video library, you don't have to do this montage. Let's say you want an amped up PowerPoint report with video in it. And that's what the video report is, at least what we call it. So it's a high-impact, multimedia PowerPoint report. For each key finding, there's video clips in there that support those key findings, either on the same slide or maybe the slide after. In addition to individual clips in the video library, we can also create little mini montages. So much like you saw in that basic montage example, maybe there's 3 or 4 or 5 clips strung together to make a certain point. And that's embedded right on the PowerPoint slide. And this option includes PowerPoint enhancement, if you need it, and it also includes the full video library, because that's a foundational step we need to do anyway. So the typical process is for us to first create this video library, and then concurrently we're enhancing the presentation, and then we go through the library and pick the best of the best to go into the report. So if you have 100 clips in the library, usually about a third or so make it into the report. We might have 30 or 35 clips in there, or if we're making little mini montages, maybe there's 5 to 8 of those little mini montages. Yeah, you send us the raw. It couldn't even be in a Word doc or in a base PowerPoint, and then we enhance it. We actually use the report at that point as our direction for what to listen for while we're pouring through the footage. So the key part is that it does require you to kind of hurry up and get your finalized report, ideally approved by your client first, same way in that one ideal process early on where we said get the content approved first, and then we take everything from there. So, and there's an opportunity to review and swap some things out. So then we'd send out to you the video report and the video library. 30 of those 100 made it into the report. If you don't like a certain clip, or you want to go through, peruse the video library and say, oh, I'd love to have clip 57 on slide 32. Can we make that happen? Yeah, no problem. Make a little quick change and zip it back up there. So it's a lot of interchangeable parts too. This is nice for those who actually want to present the findings. Whether it's you or your client. If your client likes to, in an internal meeting, kind of walk people through the information, they can choose when or when not to click on certain videos, especially if timing's running tight, which is nice. So a whole bunch of embed options. I didn't want to go through them all, so I just took quick screenshots to show you some different things. So lots of options. I would say it's 50% video montages, 30% video library only projects, and maybe 10% this and 10% other stuff. A video only deliverable is a hot item right now. That's all I'm saying. Our other services here, we do videography services. We have a team of guys. They'll go anywhere, anytime. So they're great, and it's good to have a professional. You know, a lot of these client teams try to home grow it, and there's a lot of considerations and variables you don't think of. Audio, lighting, shaking, you know, angles and things like that. So we do that. Also media conversion and duplication. Sometimes you do use a videographer, or someone has done cards, and now you have all this stuff and I don't know what to do. What am I going to do with 15 tapes? I got to try to get some information out of this. So you need someone to convert that to video files or to DVD. We can do that. Duplication, same thing. I got a set of 10 DVDs. I got to get another set to my client. Quick. We can dupe stuff in half a day. We also do graphics and imagery and digital capture if you wanted to grab some things off of there. Last slide. So in terms of how you work with us or a company like us, it can really be a beneficial arrangement for QRCs or smaller research firms, mostly because you don't need to build in that expertise internally. The project comes along where you need video services, you plug them in, the project's over, you unplug them, there's no overhead, no nonsense, no employee issues. It can be a pass-through cost. So your client has said, hey, we want to get this video thing done. You contact whoever and say, how much is this going to cost? Here it is. You tell the client it's that much. They pay that, and your client's delighted. Or, even better for you, is, hey, this is a little way to boost your bottom line at the end of the year. So every project that comes through, get a quote from us, mark it up 20 or 25 or 30 or 40%, whatever you're feeling like you want to do. And mostly for your management and oversight and just bringing the job to us or a company like ours, that certainly seems warranted. Another nice thing is you have a professional experienced partner who does this for a living 24/7. We're happy to be involved with your end client. So if some of the terminology and jargon gets you scared and nervous, you can say, well, let me bring in Tim into this discussion, either via email or phone calls or whatever. Or we can stay behind the scenes, which we do for some of our clients. Either way is fine. And the relationship, trust, and commitment. So it's good to work with folks that you feel comfortable with. Well, thank you very much. That was a lot to sit through. I really appreciate the opportunity. We're here to service the qualitative research industry.